Where in the world was this fragrance late last year when I put together my top 10 ROJA Parfums fragrances video? I'm talking about Parfum de la Nuit number 3 from the house of ROJA Parfums. This would have ended up at the very top in the list if I had known about this fragrance. Also, this is the best uses of cumin in a fragrance because this cumin in here smells phenomenal. It's one sexy fragrance, one of the sexiest fragrances that I've put my nose on. But today in the Saffron review video, I'll review Parfum de la Nuit number 3 for you. You're also going to have a chance at winning a full bottle of Parfum de la Nuit number 3 from the house of ROJA Parfums. So if you're curious to learn all about Parfum de la Nuit number 3, then please stay tuned. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is Sebastian with Smelling Great Fragrance Reviews. That's right, today I'm talking about Parfum de la Nuit number 3 from the house of ROJA Parfums. And as I said, I would have added this to my top 10 list, top 10 ROJA Parfums list, way at the top if I knew about it. But sadly, I discovered it after I aired the top 10 list and I was like, wow, where have I been? This is phenomenal. It smells great. It's a sexy fragrance. It's sex in a bottle. But today, if this is your first time tuning into the channel and you love watching fragrance reviews and still haven't subscribed to the channel, please click the subscribe button below and also click the bell so you'll be notified for future videos and giveaways. So, as I said, I discovered this late last year and I immediately requested a bottle to be sent to me. This is a tester bottle, and if you are a subscriber of this channel and participate to win a bottle, you'll end up getting a tester bottle as well. And also, just to notify you, you're not guaranteed to get a cap, so you might receive a bottle like this. But the opinion's all my own for this fragrance, and this particular fragrance is one that I sampled and fell in love with, and I wanted to tell you all about it. So ROJA Parfums Parfum de la Nuit number 3 was launched in 2015. It's considered an Oriental or Oriental spicy, maybe Oriental leather fragrance. The perfumer, once again, is ROJA Dove. But what do we have for notes here in Parfum de la Nuit number 3? At the top, you've got Bergamot, Artemisia. In the heart, you've got Rosamai and Cistus. In the base, you've got lots of notes: Cardamom, Cumin, Saffron, Gurjum, Cypriol, Patchouli, Cedarwood, Guaiacwood, Juniper, Amyris, Sandalwood, Benzoin, Frankincense, Styrax, Labdanum leather, Ambergris. A lot is going on in the base of this fragrance, and once again, true to ROJA Parfums fragrances, the fragrance comes alive in the base. Everything pretty much happens in the base. You start out pretty quick at the top, but it develops into this one amazingly, gorgeously sexy fragrance. As I said, this is sex in a bottle, and exactly that. It smells like sex in a bottle. One of a kind smell. If you recall, I read Cistus in the heart and Labdanum in the base, and I've always thought Cistus Labdanum was the same thing, but they're using it here in two different ways, and I had to look it up. And this is a learning experience for me because I love to learn when I'm doing these reviews. Labdanum usually refers to the absolute coming from the Labdanum plant or the flower. Cistus refers to the oil from the same plant, so Labdanum. So they've added Cistus in the heart, which is from the oil, and then they've added Labdanum in the base, which is from the actual absolute. If you want to learn more about Labdanum, I do have a whole 1 hour long video. You can click it here to learn all about Labdanum and other balsams and resins. But what's the deal with this fragrance? Oh man, lots going on with this fragrance. So this fragrance, I was wondering why there's no vanilla listed, and because there's a sweetness to the fragrance and it sweetens up the whole entire fragrance, so I'm assuming the sweetness comes from benzoin. And I've mentioned it a lot in my videos that benzoin has vanillic undertones and there's a vanillic quality to the fragrance, even though there's no vanilla here. So what happens with this fragrance is it starts off at the top with that bergamot and the artemisia, but then immediately goes right into the rose, and then the rose with that cistus in the heart. You start experiencing ambery touches with the cistus and the rose. And the rose in here, I want to specify, if you are turned off with rose, this is not a rose fragrance. The rose is just basically there to connect other notes together. It kind of sweetens up, well, it is a sweeter note, so it does sweeten up the fragrance a little bit. You have the rosy undertones, but it just kind of cools the warm experience of the fragrance, because this is an ultra warm fragrance. It's very, very warm notes with lots of resins and balsams, as you recall when I read it. Now in the bases, as I said, is what really comes alive with this fragrance, and this, after all, for me, is mostly a leather fragrance. It's a very, very leathery fragrance, but it's not a rough leather. It's a very, very sexy, elegant leather. It's soft, smooth, but dry at the same time. So that rose really, really complements the leather. It is gorgeously complementing. But along with the leather, you got saffron. It's got an aromatic touch to the fragrance, but a little bit of leathery undertones with that saffron. Complements the leather very well. There is a smoky touch running throughout the fragrance as well with the frankincense. And of course, I mentioned the rose to you as well. The rose is just gorgeous in here. It's not a rosy fragrance, but it's there. You can pick it up, but it doesn't scream rose. So this is, after all, as I said, it's a leather fragrance with lots of aromatic, spicy touches. It's very, very warm for me, and that rose kind of cools it off. Then the cumin. The cumin is a secondary player. It is so wonderful here. The cumin is a sexy, sexy player. It's that sexy co-star of the fragrance that doesn't want to go away because it appears and it kind of tries to take over from the main player of the leather, and it just kind of dominates sometimes. But it's the sexiest form of cumin that I've put my nose on. It doesn't scream body odor. A lot of people associate cumin with that. It does not. It does crackle a little bit. You do experience a little bit, but it's nicely blended with the sweetness of the fragrance, and it just comes alive. Phenomenal release. This is an absolute gem of a fragrance. Really, really wonderful. It does have a very, very high price tag though. It is on the pricey side, but if you can afford it, it's definitely worth it. And man, it is. It's a great fragrance. Sadly, we're going into spring, and I think this is perfect for cooler days, but if you could get your hands on it now, you will definitely be satisfied with the wearing experience. So if you don't know where to go sample Parfum de la Nuit number 3 from the house of ROJA Parfums, we do have that bottle giveaway. As I said, if you are a subscriber of this channel from the USA, please click the link to Saffron in the info box, head over there and follow their rules on how to participate. Please make sure to follow their rules, and you have to be registered as well. And also, come back here and let me know your thoughts on this particular fragrance, Parfum de la Nuit number 3 from the house of ROJA Parfums. Have you tried it? Are you familiar with this house? Do you like the sound of this fragrance, the notes together? Are you a fan of cumin, rose, leather? What are your thoughts? Please put them down so I can find out. Other than that, guys, thanks so much for watching today. Please like this video, please share it, follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye.